Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we have another passive income report. So I'm going to be walking through my passive income streams for the month of November and seeing how much we ended up making. Now in terms of my passive income streams, I really tend to focus on 4 key areas. So this is affiliate marketing, YouTube ad revenue, my paid products, and then also free shares I get as well. So it doesn't include any active income I have. So for example, my one-to-one coaching, because that's obviously more active. So this is really based on income where I don't necessarily have to do a lot of active work in order for me to make it, obviously excluding things like YouTube videos. But with YouTube videos, once you've actually made it, you can still continue to earn money passively, even if it's been like a few months or even years as well. So that's why it's included in this report. So without further ado, let's just get started, and we're gonna of course start with affiliate marketing. Now for those of you who might not know, when it comes to affiliate marketing, this is something that I haven't particularly focused on very much this year, and to be honest, I don't even know if it's going to be something I focus on next year either, just because I do have other things that I really want to put my kind of energy into. But it's something where I've had links on my description for my YouTube videos, and sometimes I've even had it on my Instagram as well. And essentially what I will do is I will have links to products that I have basically used, and if you do click on that link and maybe you purchase something, then I'm likely to make a commission off it, because obviously I've encouraged you to use that link. And so that's essentially how affiliate marketing works. So again, I always do this first because usually it's just the worst one and I just kind of want to get it out of the way. But who knows, maybe next year I will switch it up and maybe I'll do it last. But in terms of affiliate marketing, I ended up making about 60 pence in November, which is around 80 cents. So again, less than £1, less than $1, but you know, it's something. And I think with affiliate marketing, again, the products that I usually use are things like books. So I'm only going to get a small percentage, and books are usually quite cheap anyway. So I'm not really too surprised at those numbers. But in terms of how I've done so far this year, it does mean that I have made about £45.91, which is around $61. I mean, it's almost halfway to my goal of £100. That was my goal at the beginning of this year. But hey, I mean, almost halfway there. I think it's still progress and definitely still something to be proud of. And it's very, very passive in that I can literally just leave those links there and I can still be generating money from there. So, you know, I'm not going to complain at all. I'm still quite happy with my progress. Whether I'll actually be focusing on this again next year, I'm not too sure, but it's still nice to have people actually still clicking on those links as well. So if you have, thank you very much. So next up, let's talk about my paid products. So if you didn't know, I actually have budget templates that I currently sell. So with that, it does include a net worth statement, a sinking funds calculator. So this allows you to really save up for expenses over time. Plus you can either get a monthly budget template or you can get a weekly budget template. So I've been selling that throughout this whole year. And to be honest, I think it's actually been starting to gain momentum this kind of second half of the year, which has been great. And so in terms of how much I ended up making in November, I actually made £64.19, which is around $85. So I'm actually really, really happy with that, because again, it's above the £50 mark, and obviously it's above the $80 mark as well. And particularly based on the fact that Etsy really does tend to take quite a lot of fees. I'm not even going to lie to you. I do actually think November was definitely a very strong month. So very, very happy, and I really hope you guys enjoy the budget templates. If you did actually buy it, I hope it's really been useful. I have had a lot of good reviews from it, and I know that some of you guys have even messaged me saying that like you're actually having a really, really good budget and a really good system now, which has been great. So really hope you enjoy it. And so basically what that means is that so far I have made around £590.97, which is around $770. So we've almost passed the 600 mark, which is amazing. And of course, obviously when it comes to dollars, we're almost at $800 for the year, which has been crazy. And actually I think I had a really big goal of 1,000, but the fact that I've actually almost made 600 has definitely blown my mind, because even at the beginning of the year I was like, should I have actually just said 500? But yeah, the fact that I've made more than £500 just on my own budget templates, so these are things that I made and people are still buying them, I just can't believe it. So thank you very much if you have actually purchased my template, and I really do hope you enjoy it. And if you're liking this so far, then feel free to give me a thumbs up, as it really does help to support the channel, plus it's free. And then next up, let's talk about free shares. So if you didn't know, I actually invest invest in the stock market through two platforms. I think they are mainly European based. So I do invest through a platform called Trading 212, and I invest through FREETRADE as well. Now when it comes to Trading 212, I really used to get quite a lot of free shares at the beginning of the year until they actually then had to have a wait list for people to actually join the platform, and from my knowledge they still have not opened that since. So obviously that meant I didn't have any free shares from Trading 212, and all of my other free shares have come from FREETRADE. So in terms of how I actually did in November, so I ended up getting 6 free shares, which was great. So thank you so much if you have actually used my link for those free shares. You can of course use my link if you are interested in FREETRADE. Just remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not telling you what to invest in, but obviously if you do your research and you find that FREETRADE might be something that you're interested in starting to invest in, then of course you can use my link and we will both get a free share. So I did end up getting 6 free shares, which at the time that I'm recording this, it comes to about £25.84, which is around $35. Now obviously the share price can fluctuate, and actually the free shares that I received, there were some shares where it's actually dipped by like 18% or something, so of course that's going to fluctuate, but at the moment, at the time I recorded this, it's around £25. So it's really interesting in that I was able to get 6 free shares, which was amazing, but that equated to about 25. The reason being is because I had some free shares that had very low share prices, so a couple of them were literally like £2 a share price. So I don't know, just seeing the difference between the free shares that Trading 212 was given previously versus FREETRADE has just been intriguing, should I say, because with Trading 212 I was getting free shares for like 20 to 30 to even £40. So to go from £40 to like £2 is yeah, different, but I'm still very grateful because it's £2 more than I had before. So of course, thank you so much if you have actually used my link, and I really do hope you enjoy your free shares too. And then next up, let's talk about YouTube ad revenue. So before we actually dive into my analytics, so this is something that I like to show you guys, I do want to talk about how much I've actually ended up making in November. So in terms of how much I ended up making, and this is from my Google AdSense because that's how I get paid from YouTube ad revenue, I actually ended up making £167.88, which is around $222. So again, we have passed the 150 mark, and actually I'm very, very happy about this, just because you guys know that I literally have been trying to pass the 150 mark for months. Like literally the whole of this year I've been trying to pass the 150 mark, and this has happened the second month in a row. So I'm really hoping it's just going to be an upwards trend from here. Obviously we will see, because YouTube ad revenue does tend to fluctuate quite a lot, but at the moment I'm still very happy. And yeah, let's now just dive into my analytics and see what's been going on in the month of November. So when it comes to November, I actually ended up generating more than 16,000 views, which is actually slightly less when you compare it to October. So in October I actually ended up generating 19,000 views. So that was interesting when I first saw that, and you can actually see the number of videos I was able to produce as well. Now in terms of November, that was obviously an interesting month because this was the month that I actually explained that I had also quit my 9-to-5 job. So this is where you can see that spike here, and I think this was my highest viewed video in the month of November. So you can see before that I was getting like 200 views, 300 views, and then all of a sudden on Wednesday when I actually uploaded the video, I got more than 1,000 views. So that was really interesting. And then also during that month there was a time where I didn't upload on Friday. I actually don't remember the reason for that. I know there was a specific reason, whether I just wasn't feeling well or there was something going on. But then when I wanted to upload on Tuesday, which was the video on where I actually quit my job, iMovie completely crashed on me, and that's my editing software that I used, and it just was not working. So I couldn't actually upload it until Wednesday. So that's why you can see the large gap between like the Tuesday and then the following week, which is the Wednesday. But you know, really interesting to see that I had more than 1,000 views on that video. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I will link that up here for you and in the description below. But actually, if I go to my October content, although I had more than 19,000 views and obviously my videos were a lot more consistent, I ended up making around £167.38, whereas in November I actually ended up slightly making more. And so I'm really, really happy with that. And actually, if I go into my revenue tab, you can see a big reason for that was because my CPM had also increased and my RPM had increased. And so in terms of my CPM, that just means that per 1,000 playback, so per 1,000 people that actually watched the ad, this is how much advertisers were basically willing to pay. And so the CPM actually includes YouTube's cut, whereas the RPM actually includes my own earnings, so my cut. So you can see that it actually increased for the month of November. I think a big reason for that is because of the topic. So I was actually talking about leaving my 9-to-5, and I think those topics tend to have a higher CPM from what I could see, because I have 2 videos talking about 9-to-5 live and they have quite a high CPM. So that's why I think I actually ended up generating more money, just because I had a higher CPM rather than the amount of views. So again, it's always interesting to see that views don't always equate to how much you end up making during the month. So then when it comes to my YouTube analytics, in terms of how I've actually done so far this year, what it means is that I have made around £1,596.26, which is around $2,115. So over £1,500, which is absolutely amazing. A far cry from the 10,000 goal that I had at the beginning of the year, but still it's actually almost £2,000 that I've made. And actually, if I was to add it onto my salary for this year, then you know, a couple of grand does also make a difference. So I'm really happy with how the progress is going, and who knows, maybe my revenue will skyrocket next year. So in total, in terms of how I actually ended up doing in November, I ended up making around £258.51, which is around $342.65. Now, if you compare it to October, in October, I actually ended up making more. So I ended up making £282.05 in October, which is around $380.14. So not a completely huge difference. And actually, I've now gone above the 250 mark, which is something I also was working towards, because I think I was always around the 200 mark during this year. So I can see that my passive income has started to now increase over the year. But it's interesting to see how that's going to go next year as well. So if you guys do want me to continue doing these reports, please do let me know in the comments below, and I will continue to do that next year. So if you did like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, are you planning on generating any passive income streams in 2022? I do post every Tuesday and Friday, so if you would like to know more, then of course you can subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on Friday.